Welcome, everybody. Welcome to a new human experience podcast. Today is June the 24th, 2021. The title for this podcast is Eye of the Storm. I am the storm. So I was actually, when I was early in the day, when I was really tuning in what I'm going to talk about this evening, and the words just came to me is eye of the storm. And um and I have a feeling of what it is that I want to, like, the idea is that, like, everything, the eye of the storm is really the most calm part within a storm. Everything is like swirling around and all of that, but the eye of the storm, when you're within the eye of the storm, it's the calmest place that you can be. And so that is really what I feel, is that this is the energy of what I'm feeling. And why did I also tag on the line of I am the storm, is that when I think it's more of a judgment of my part, is that when I think of being the eye of the storm, is being the calm um, in between all of the storm, is also a recognition that it's more of a focus, that all of everything that is going on, it's actually going on for, we are the one that's creating it. We are the storm, like I am, but so are each one of you that are listening to this and here to this evening, and also listening to it afterwards, is that we are the one that is creating this, all the storm. But before I actually go into talking about all of this, I actually want to give a little bit of a, how should I say, a build up, a background of what I'm going to talk about as well. So, what really inspired me for being that for thinking that we are the eye of the storm, and also we are the storm, is to really quote, as in previous episode, I want to quote from the raw material, still book one. This is from session number 3, and this is page 77. I think the page number is depending on your version of the book, but the conversation is between Ra and also a group of 3, I would say, wisdom seeker, who asked the Ra about how, um, who is Ra, and also about whether Ra has ever been to Earth, and any interaction of us. And then the conversation moved to Ra mentioning that he is one of the people that was present and responsible for building the Great Pyramid that is in Giza. And so the wisdom seekers was asking the question, so how, the questioner, how were the blocks moved? The blocks being the rocks, because the pyramid, the Great Pyramid, was built, the material are rocks. So the question was, how were the blocks moved? Ra replying, I am Ra. You must picture the activity within all that is created. The energy is, though finite, quite large compared to the understanding or distortion by your peoples. This is an obvious point well known to your people, but little considered. This energy is intelligent. It is hierarchical. Much as your mind body spirit complex dwells within a hierarchy of vehicles and retains, therefore, the shell or shape or field, and the intelligence of each ascendingly intelligent or balanced body, so does each atom of such a material as rock. When one can speak to that intelligence, the finite energy of the physical or chemical rock body is put into contact with that infinite power which is resident in the more well-tuned bodies, be they human or rock. With this connection made, a request may be given. The intelligence of infinite rockness communicates to its physical vehicle, and that splitting and moving which is desired is then carried out through the displacement of the energy field of rockness from finity to a dimension which we may conveniently call simply infinity. In this way, that which is required is accomplished due to a cooperation of the infinite understanding of the Creator indwelling in the living rock. This is, of course, the mechanism by which many things are accomplished, which are not subject to your present means of physical analysis of action at a distance. And then the questioner continue. Then if an individual is totally informed with respect to the law of one, lives the law of one, then such things as the building of the pyramid by direct mental effort would be commonplace. Is that what I am to understand? And Ra replied, I am Ra. You are incorrect in that there is a distinction between the individual power through the law of one and the combined or societal memory complex, mind, body, spirit, understanding of the law of one. In the first case, only the one individual, purified of all flaws, could move a mountain. In the case of mass understanding of unity, each individual may contain an acceptable amount of distortion, and yet the mass mind could move mountains. I included this exchange between Ra and Ra is an entity from the sixth density. And Ra is talking to a group of wisdom seeker. So Ra is telling us a few things that are very important. One of them is being that is talking about the mystery of how the Great Pyramid in Giza was built. It was not built by Pharaoh using slave workers, as we were somehow misdirected to believe. Not at all. Just so you would all know that even with the technology, the advancement in technology, like several thousand years after the pyramids, the great pyramids in Giza were supposedly built by pharaohs from Egypt, even nowadays, even today, I can clearly say that no one can actually duplicate that. We don't have the technology nowadays, even nowadays, to be able to build the pyramid with all the to be able to even move the big rocks. We may be able to move the rocks, but to actually move the rocks and then stack them up so precisely as to make it to look like the precise shape that the pyramids are, is completely beyond our capability today. And that's how you know that we didn't build it. Nobody, no human built it. And Ra confirmed it, is that, it was built very differently, not by mechanical means. It was built from thought. So I'm not asking all of you to take my word for it or even take Ra's word for it that, someone like Ra would be able to think the pyramid into existence. It is not something that I'm asking anyone to believe in. All I'm asking is that is for each and everyone who's listening to this is to actually keep an open mind, because there's so much about our own abilities that we have no idea yet. We have been so our mind has been instructed and trained in such a way to believe in one scenario, in one way of doing things, that we have no idea now how much more we are capable of, that we have so much more innate abilities, which in the next, I don't know how many years, but in the next foreseeable future, this is going to be our exploration, is to start to recover our own innate abilities. The theme of June, looking back, I did actually at the beginning of June, I didn't really say what the theme of June was, because I was inspired to do a different way. Usually I would like have the theme, pick a theme for the month, and then work my way through it. However, this month I got to the point where I'm not going to stress about thinking of a theme. I'm just going to tune into what needed to be said in the moment. However, looking back from all of the previous couple of weeks, the theme of June is really about the infinite potential of our consciousness, or in other words, empowerment, really to get back to empowering ourselves, really getting back to starting to leave open the door, leave open and start to break out of the box that we have previously put ourselves in, and to really start to understand that we are powerful, powerful beings. We have no idea how much power we have, how much innate abilities that we actually each one have. I shared these quotes from the raw material to crack open my own current understanding and belief about what I can or cannot do, and also to do that for everyone that's listening to this as well. Ra is simply a much more advanced version of us, of who we are in potential. And even Ra himself admitted that he is still evolving. He is still learning. So even at his level, he was able to, create a pyramid, the big pyramid, the big pyramid in Giza, from thought, to create something from nothing. But even at that level, he still knows that there is no end to his own potential. He is still evolving, and he knows that the journey is infinite. So we are just now moving from third density to fourth density, and Ra is sixth density. So Ra is about, in terms of density, about twice as advanced as we are. All of this chaos that we are witnessing every day now in full technicolor and all sensory streaming in is simply, as I was really getting present to, that all of these chaos is simply the death dance of a passing era. So all the stories, all the idea that we should wear masks, we should we should be afraid of a virus, we have to inject ourselves with all sorts of experimental injection, all of that, all of these stories of people that are struggling with the system, all of these injustice. And I don't know if you are aware of the government actually passing very recently Bill C-10, I believe it's, and they actually passed it in the middle of the night. They didn't even pass it during the day. And that's how clandestine the government has become, is to pass a bill, a so-called law that is going to limit how we can express our opinions on social media. So all of these stories, like stories on top of stories, all of these are being thrown at us now to convince us that we should be afraid. We should be afraid of the virus. We should be afraid of the government. We have no control over what can or cannot happen to us. All of this is just a smokescreen. And I'm really becoming more and more clear, crystal clear to me, that the opposite is actually true, that we are actually very much in control, very much in control of where we are going. No matter what is happening in the world stage around you, I want to remind everyone that it is all simply a stage, an illusion. You are the only one, actually, who can decide for yourself whether you accept what is being presented to you as your reality or not. You decide, not by your mind, not by your ego, not by your thinking. You decide by your vibration, by how you spend your energy. If you pay no energy into what's going on outside, the chaos that is, then it does not matter to you. Your vibration would remain high, and no matter how messy it gets, somehow you will find a way around all of the mess and be able to come through. It does not impact you, in other words, the way it is intended to. Your consciousness determines your reality. You are not this body. You are not the product of your environment. You are the creator of the body, and you are the director of the environment. The secret, and now that I've said it out loud, is no longer a secret, but the supposedly secret is that what is happening on Earth now has actually happened countless times before on countless other planets all throughout the universe. And I mean by our moving from third density to fourth density. Once a planet and the planetary collective, meaning the living beings that is on the planet, have decided to move to the next density, the transition will take place. in somewhat similar, but never exactly the same manner as what we are going through now. This playground is shifting, and nothing can stop it. No government, no Illuminati, nothing. No, nothing that is human, nothing that is energetic, nothing that is supernatural, no archons, no amount of evil demons or ill conceived ideas can stop it. Nothing can stop it. You are, in fact, the eye of the storm. You are the ones that are actually steering this change over. All of us that is the human collective on Earth. Earth and the human collective already gave the consent. We are moving. And it is final. This decision is final. No one can stop it. And each and every one of us are actually steering this change over. And I know it does not seem that way. We don't um, we may not be seeing all of that yet, or at least we don't quite sure yet. Not only that, nothing can stop this change. We are, for those of us who are ready, we we are, each and every one of us that are ready are going to be sooner or later stepping onto the plate of being the architect of this new playground. And when I was contemplating this, I was actually hearing the conversation in my own mind. It was like, well, I have no money. I don't have the know-how. I don't have the scientific knowledge or the occult knowledge and all of that. I don't even know what it is that I'm supposed to do. So there are so many unknown that in moments of clarity, especially the last couple of days when the energy is so strong, in moments of clarity, I was able to really tune in and tapped in and know that all of that internal dialogue, that's just an illusion. That is just my ego starting to, or trying to, um, persuade me to abandon this. That, oh, we can't do it. We don't have the money. Let's wait for the money. Nasara, Jasara, whatever. Let's wait until those things come. That's not how the universe works. The money, the knowledge, and all the other resources will come when we are ready to build the new playground. The money will come, the knowledge will come, the know-how will come when we decide to take on that 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 work, to start that work. That is always how it is. Just like what Ra was saying, and I quote, is that when one can speak to that intelligence, the finite energy of the physical or chemical rock body is put into contact with that infinite power which is resident in the more well-tuned bodies, be they human or rock. When we tap into our own infinite intelligence, and when we come to that decision that we are ready to do the work, that is when all of those resources is going to come. And that is how it has always been. When Ra was thinking about building the Great Pyramid, Ra did not look at, oh, okay, we have to find out where to get the stones, blah blah blah. No. He created it out of thin air. He made the choice to create it. made that choice to create it. And then the rest came. It is created from thought, and that is how we always create. We just are not very present to our own creative process yet. We, each of us, is a carrier and transmitter of this infinite intelligence. And when we can consciously, with our own conscious mind, get connected to our own conscious mind, when we can connect to that conscious and consciously speak to that infinite intelligence that is within ourselves, it's already there, everything that we need, and we ask for what we need, the resources will appear. We don't know how. It is up to the infinite intelligence within us to create what we need. And that has always been the case. So the choice is really not whether we are ready. The choice is, how are you going to get yourself ready? How are you going to get yourself to the point where you are ready to be the architect of the new reality? So that is really all I want to share this evening, is that we have that ability, and we also have the vision that each one of us, maybe not right now, but if we just keep ourselves open to that possibility, that we have the answer, we have all the answers within, we have all the connection to bring the resources to us, and we let go of what we were conditioned, is that we need money, we need the raw material, and then we construct. It's actually a little different. We have the idea first. We make that choice that we want to create, and then we have the idea, the blueprint in our mind, and then that's the next step, is we start to source it. We don't source it first and then create it. It's the other way around. And so the new playground is coming, and we are the ones that are here to create it, each and every one of us. And it's not really a matter of whether we want to or not. We are here because at a soul level, we already chose that. We already made that choice, that this is what we're going to do. And not everyone is going to do the same thing. Each and every one of us here on earth whose soul has made that choice to move onto the new playground is going to know and have all that ability already embedded within each one of us. It is simply our choice to start to get that out, to connect to what that is, what it is that we needed to do from within. And it is going to happen, because it has happened many, many other times, countless times on many, many other planets. And no one can stop this. Nothing can stop this. So let's get on with it, shall we?